Hello again, and welcome back. My name is Philly, and this is our quiet little corner where we explore the greatest financial scandals in history. I've always been fascinated by the way money, ambition, and human nature intertwine, and how sometimes that combination leads to shocking stories. This channel is not about stressing over details or keeping track of dates. It's about relaxing, listening, and maybe drifting off to sleep while I guide you through tales of greed, deception, and downfall. So, settle in. Find a comfortable position, let your eyes grow heavy, and let's travel to Houston, Texas at the turn of the 21st century, where one of the largest corporations in America, Enron, was about to collapse in spectacular fashion. Enron was founded in 1985 after a merger between two natural gas companies, Houston Natural Gas and Internorth. At first, it was just another energy company, transporting natural gas through pipelines. But in the 1990s, under the leadership of CEO Kenneth Lay, Enron transformed itself. Lay and his team envisioned Enron not just as an energy company, but as a trading powerhouse. They wanted to turn electricity and natural gas into commodities, like stocks or bonds, that could be bought and sold in complex markets. This vision was bold, and in many ways ahead of its time. As energy markets were deregulated in the United States, Enron positioned itself as a middleman between producers and consumers. On paper, the company looked unstoppable. By the late 1990s, Enron was one of the most admired companies in America. It was praised for its innovation, its ambitious culture, and its seemingly endless growth. Magazines ranked it among the best places to work. Investors flocked to it, and employees, thousands of them, believed they were part of something revolutionary. But behind the glossy exterior, Enron's culture was deeply flawed. Executives pushed for constant growth and high stock prices. Employees were encouraged to take huge risks, and failure was punished harshly. The company even had a system known as rank and yank, where employees were regularly evaluated and the lowest performers were fired. This created a cutthroat environment where the pressure to succeed at all costs led people to bend rules or break them entirely. For Enron's leaders, especially Kenneth Lay, Jeffrey Skilling, and Andrew Fastow, appearances were everything. As long as the company's stock price rose, almost any tactic seemed justified. Enron's greatest trick was how it reported its finances. Under Skilling, who became CEO in 2001, the company adopted a method called mark-to-market accounting. Normally, a company records profits and losses as they actually happen, when money is earned or spent. But mark-to-market allowed Enron to record potential future profits immediately, even if the money hadn't actually been made. Here's an example. Imagine Enron signed a 10-year contract to supply energy. Even if no energy had been delivered yet, Enron could estimate the total profit over 10 years and count it as income right away. This made the company's earnings look huge, even though the cash wasn't there. At the same time, Enron used hundreds of off-the-books entities, special purpose vehicles, or SPVs, created by Chief Financial Officer Andrew Fastow. These shell companies were used to hide Enron's debts and losses, keeping them away from the balance sheet. It was a financial shell game. To outsiders, Enron looked profitable, but inside, debts piled up, and the company was far weaker than it appeared. By the year 2000, Enron stock had reached an all-time high of around $90 per share. It was one of the largest companies in America, valued at more than $60 billion. But the cracks were already forming. Analysts and journalists began asking questions about how Enron really made money. Some employees quietly expressed doubts. Still, the illusion held for a while. Executives reassured investors. Skilling, Lay, and Fastow projected confidence. They claimed Enron was a new kind of company, too advanced to be understood by outsiders. But confidence can only last so long. In 2001, a series of revelations began to unravel the truth. In August 2001, Jeffrey Skilling abruptly resigned as CEO, citing personal reasons. His departure raised eyebrows, but the real storm was just beginning. That fall, journalists from the Wall Street Journal and analysts from various firms started exposing Enron's questionable accounting practices. By October, Enron admitted it had overstated its earnings by nearly $600 million. Soon after, it revealed the existence of Fastow's off-the-books entities and billions of dollars in hidden debt. Confidence collapsed almost overnight. Enron's stock price, once soaring near $90, plummeted to less than $1 by the end of November 2001. In December, Enron filed for bankruptcy, the largest in U.S. history at the time. The collapse of Enron wasn't just a corporate story. It was deeply personal for thousands of people. Employees who had invested their retirement savings in Enron stock saw their life savings vanish. Ordinary investors lost billions, and the public's trust in corporations and auditors was shaken. Arthur Andersen, one of the world's largest accounting firms, was implicated in the scandal for shredding documents and failing to properly audit Enron's books. The firm collapsed soon after, putting tens of thousands of people out of work. The Enron scandal became a symbol of corporate greed, deception, and the dangers of unchecked ambition. In the years that followed, Enron's top executives faced justice. Jeffrey Skilling was convicted of fraud and insider trading. Andrew Fastow, the architect of the off-the-books schemes, served time in prison. Kenneth Lay, Enron's founder, was also convicted, but he passed away before his sentencing. The scandal led to sweeping reforms in corporate governance. In 2002, the U.S. Congress passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which imposed stricter regulations on financial reporting and increased penalties for fraud. The goal was to restore trust in the financial system and to prevent another Enron from happening. The story of Enron is more than just the fall of a company. It's a reminder of how ambition, when unchecked by ethics, can spiral into disaster. It shows how the pressure to succeed, to always appear strong, can lead people down dangerous paths. As we close tonight's story, remember that even the most powerful corporations are fragile if built on deception. Enron once seemed unstoppable, but in the end, it collapsed under the weight of its own lies. So now, as you drift into sleep, let this story be a gentle reminder. True strength lies not in appearances, but in honesty and integrity. Thank you for listening and for spending this quiet time with me. My name is Philly, and I'll be back with another story soon. Until then, sleep well, and good night.